Have you ever wondered why the Philippines is the real rightful owner of Sabah? Welcome to the first chapter of our journey, where we unravel the enigma of Sabah, a tropical paradise nestled between the Philippines and Malaysia, and a subject of much contention. Sabah, known for its rich biodiversity and cultural heritage, holds a unique position in Southeast Asian geopolitics. But what is it about Sabah that sparks such a dispute? Why does it hold a place of prominence in the Philippines' historical narrative, and how did it come to be administered by Malaysia? To understand this, we need to delve into the annals of history. The claim of the Philippines over Sabah is rooted in a rich historical tapestry, a story that takes us back to the days of the Sultanate of Sulu, an Islamic Tausug state that once held sway over vast territories in Southeast Asia. But how did this sultanate come to claim Sabah, and what happened to their claim? Meanwhile, on the other side of the dispute, we have Malaysia. Today, Sabah forms an integral part of Malaysia, contributing significantly to its economy and cultural diversity. But how did Malaysia come to administer Sabah? What historical, political, and legal maneuvers led to this situation? The Sabah Conundrum is not just a matter of historical interest. It has far-reaching implications for the present and future of Southeast Asian geopolitics. The outcome of this dispute could alter territorial boundaries, affect international relations, and even change the destiny of nations. But where does the Philippines stand in this complex web of claims and counterclaims? Join us as we unravel the complex web of historical claims and disputes over Sabah. As we journey through the chapters, we'll unpack these questions, delve into the intricacies of historical treaties, examine the role of colonial powers, and explore the international implications of the Sabah dispute. So, buckle up and get ready for a deep dive into the Sabah Conundrum. What if we told you that the Sultanate of Sulu once ruled Sabah? Yes, you heard it right. The Sultanate of Sulu, a Muslim state that thrived from the 15th to the 20th century, had sovereignty over Sabah. But how did this come to be? It all started in the late 17th century when the Sultanate of Brunei ceded eastern Sabah to the Sultan of Sulu as a token of gratitude. The Sultan of Sulu had assisted the Sultan of Brunei in quelling a civil war, and Sabah was the reward. For centuries, the Sultanate of Sulu held sway over this region, collecting taxes and exercising sovereignty. Now, you may be wondering, what does this have to do with the Philippines? Well, the Sultanate of Sulu is historically and geographically linked to the current territory of the Philippines. The archipelago that was once the Sultanate now partly constitutes the southern Philippines. In the late 19th century, an agreement was made between the Sultanate of Sulu and the British North Borneo Company. The company leased Sabah from the Sultanate, but this was not a straightforward lease. It was a lease that would set the stage for a territorial dispute that continues to this day. The Sultanate of Sulu leased Sabah to the British North Borneo Company for an annual payment, but the translation of the agreement from Malay to English led to a significant misunderstanding. The English version suggested that the Sultanate had ceded sovereignty over Sabah to the British, while the Malay version indicated it was merely a lease. This language discrepancy has been at the heart of the Sabah dispute. The Philippines, as the successor state of the Sultanate of Sulu, maintains that Sabah was only leased, not ceded, and therefore should rightfully be part of the Philippines. The Sultanate of Sulu's claims have left an indelible mark on Sabah's history, but how did Malaysia end up administering it? That's a question we'll delve into in the next scene. Stay tuned. Did you know that a British company once played a pivotal role in Sabah's history? Indeed, the British North Borneo Company was a significant character in the narrative of Sabah, and its actions have left a lasting impact that continues to stir debate today. In the late 19th century, the Sultanate of Sulu leased Sabah to the British North Borneo Company. The company, driven by the allure of Sabah's rich natural resources, was granted the rights to administer and exploit the territory. This arrangement, however, was not a straightforward sale. The Sultanate of Sulu did not relinquish sovereignty, but rather allowed the company to govern the land while maintaining its claim. Fast forward to the mid-20th century, and the winds of change were blowing across the globe. As the era of decolonization dawned, the British North Borneo Company transferred the administration of Sabah to the British Crown in 1946. 12 years later, Sabah gained self-governance, and in 1963 it joined the newly formed Federation of Malaysia. Now here's where things get interesting. The Philippines argues that the original lease agreement was between the Sultanate of Sulu and the British North Borneo Company, not with the British Crown or Malaysia. Therefore, when the company dissolved, the Philippines contends that the rights to Sabah should have reverted back to the Sultanate of Sulu. Malaysia, on the other hand, maintains that the agreement signed in 1963 was legitimate and that Sabah rightfully became part of the Federation. This argument hinges on the assertion that the British Crown, as the successor of the British North Borneo Company, had the authority to decide Sabah's fate. As you can see, the British North Borneo Company's lease of Sabah adds another layer of complexity to the dispute. The question of who holds the rightful claim to Sabah is steeped in historical agreements, colonial transitions, and differing interpretations of sovereignty. And so the debate rages on, with Sabah caught in the middle of a centuries-old tug-of-war. Ever pondered about the international implications of the Sabah dispute? This age-old territorial controversy has not only been a bone of contention between the Philippines and Malaysia, but it has also sent ripples throughout the international community. The Philippines has been tenacious, asserting its claim to Sabah on various international platforms, refusing to let this issue fade into the annals of forgotten disputes. To understand the international implications, one must first appreciate the geopolitical significance of Sabah. Located on the northern part of the island of Borneo, Sabah is a strategic maritime gateway, connecting the South China Sea and the Sulu Sea. It is a vital trade route and holds substantial economic potential with its rich natural resources. The Philippines' claim to Sabah has been a source of friction with Malaysia, straining bilateral relations. Despite this, both countries have shown remarkable diplomacy, managing to keep this dispute from escalating into a full-blown conflict. They've continued to cooperate on other regional issues, setting a commendable example of maintaining peace despite ongoing territorial disputes. Internationally, the Philippines has largely relied on peaceful means to assert its claim. It has sought the intervention of the United Nations and the International Court of Justice, highlighting the importance of resolving the dispute through international law. However, the international community has been largely silent on the issue, perhaps wary of getting entangled in a complex colonial-era territorial dispute. This silence has been a challenge for the Philippines, making it difficult for it to gain significant international support for its claim. Yet the Philippines remains steadfast. It continues to assert its historical and legal rights to Sabah, hoping that one day the international community will recognize its claims. The Sabah dispute certainly has far-reaching implications, but what would it mean for the Philippines if Sabah became their territory? This question beckons us to explore further into the potential changes that could occur should Sabah fall under the Philippines' sovereignty. And perhaps, just perhaps, it might be the game changer the Philippines has been waiting for. Could you imagine if Sabah was officially recognized as part of the Philippines? Let's delve into the world of possibilities and explore the potential benefits and challenges this change could bring. Firstly, let's consider the economic implications. Sabah is rich in natural resources, including timber, palm oil, and petroleum. If these resources were under the Philippines' control, it could significantly boost the nation's economy. However, this also comes with the responsibility of sustainable management to prevent environmental degradation. Additionally, the incorporation of Sabah into the Philippines could open new trading routes and partnerships, further bolstering the nation's economic standing. Politically, the recognition of Sabah as part of the Philippines would validate the long-standing claims of the Sultanate of Sulu, providing a sense of justice for this historical issue. However, this could also prompt other territorial disputes, not just with Malaysia, but potentially with other neighboring nations. The Philippines would need to navigate this intricate geopolitical landscape with diplomacy and tact. On the social front, the cultural diversity of Sabah could enrich the Filipino identity. The integration of Sabah's unique customs, traditions, and languages could lead to a more multicultural Philippines. However, the blending of cultures is a complex process that requires sensitivity and respect for existing traditions to prevent cultural erosion or conflict. Lastly, the potential for enhanced regional security should not be overlooked. Sabah's strategic location could bolster the Philippines' territorial defense, but it could also increase tensions in a region already fraught with territorial disputes. Whether Sabah will ever become part of the Philippines remains a question. But one thing is certain: the quest to understand history and territorial claims is a fascinating journey. Subscribe for more amazing content and keep wondering. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.